Hey babe, I am about to do a card reading with multiple decks of cards on how we are blocking our intuition at this time. I've been feeling like this particular period of time, and not just like this week or this month, but like 2022 in general has been a time for recognizing how we are blocking ourselves and the ways that we need to move forward. One of the best ways to find those things out and to get clarity, as well as maybe some confirmation of things that we already think we know, is to ask the cards, to get guidance from the universe. So that's why I'm here. I wanted to pull some cards on the blocking of our intuition. Some cards are already coming out, as well as to see if we have any somatic practices from the Hack Your Nervous System deck, or questions, self-awareness, journaling prompts that we can get from the Soul Truth Awareness deck. So I'm going to be pulling multiple cards, and I guess we'll see what the universe has to say about this. Okay, so I've pulled some really great cards, including the Noob of Dick Sticks. There's going to be cursing in this episode, in all of my episodes, so if you're not into that, bye, I love you. We've got the Noob of Dick Sticks, which is the Page of Wands, essentially, and on the image it says, "Time to knock the leaves off this bitch." Okay? We also have the Judgment card, which is called They're Watching. In this deck, I'm still like so new to this deck, and it's funny to me every time I see something new. With the god up top saying, "Wake up, sleepy hoes, it's time to be judged." That's how I knew it was the Judgment card. Then we also have the Mom, who is the Empress, the representation of divine feminine energy, and also of maybe some like toxic feminine energy. She's saying, "I'm not a regular mom, I'm a cool mom." What I'm getting from this combination on the response to how might we be blocking our intuition, how can we unblock our intuition at this time, what I'm getting is essentially from the Page of Wands. Wands is about spiritual energy, and if we are noobs, then in our spiritual lives, then one of the things that we need to do is kind of clear out all the things that have been wounding our spirit. You know, we need to knock the leaves off this bitch so that we can come back into that spiritual knowing, and that kind of just, I hear this, I feel this, and I act upon it. Because what happens when we don't do that is, one, we rely on other people to reinforce what we think we know. Like, you know, if you're here to get confirmation or to get clarity, it's okay that you need that right now. Eventually, you will get to a place where you don't need it as much, but even for me, as a medium, as a card reader, it's sometimes hard for me to draw cards for myself, because I might hear my intuition and then also let my head get in the way, or feel that I can only trust messages that come from other people, because then they are not, they're not objective. They are coming from, sorry, my nose is itchy. Then they are coming from, a source that is not just me. The hard thing about that is we're used to hearing other people's opinions, not the guidance that they receive from spirit, which is what intuition is. So trusting somebody else's intuition, or not trusting your own intuition because you are waiting around for evidence, or you are hoping that whomever is watching isn't going to judge you for making decisions that don't logically make sense, then you might be put off from following through on your intuition, even if you hear it, even if you clear all of the leaves off of, you know, the inner wand, and you really cultivate a practice of, I am listening to myself, I am holding space with silence, stillness, and spaciousness to hear what my inner being has to say. You might still feel like you need other people's reinforcement of your making the right decision. And this comes from, and it makes sense that we're getting this card right now because it's Cancer season, and Cancer season, the astrological sign Cancer is associated with mother, with the mother archetype. It makes sense we got the mom card because we are so used to getting other people to, and not just getting other people to, but having other people tell us what is safe or assure us of what we can and cannot do. So if you are watching this right now and the feeling of like, if I follow my intuition and other people are watching and they think I should have done something else because logically I was on this path and I just made this hard turn left, if you're worried about that kind of thing, if you get anxiety about trusting that inner voice and you overthink, or you are so accustomed to getting opinions from others and asking other people for advice before you decide to take any action, what you need to hear right now is, now's the time to clear out some of those mother wounds. Now's the time to start clearing out some of those blockages of your inner strengths and your it's funny, I'm hearing like in spirit, inspiration, insight, and then intuition. If you want to clear those things out so that you can get the insight from the spirit within you, what you probably need is to pay attention to the judgments that you are making towards yourself and that you are assuming other people will have about you. And you also need to hear yourself and be a witness to how you're shutting yourself down before you even get a chance to try. The next set of cards that I have from the Voyager Tarot is essentially giving us the how-to, the practical knowledge for what we need to do and who we need to become within ourselves, so that not only can we unblock our intuition, but we can also protect our intuitive powers through this practice that we're about to receive. So one of the messages is from the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a wisdom receiver who uses the wisdom of life, uses the collective memory of the world, of the community, of the village, and makes sure to become that sort of like upright representation of, I know what is right and I know how to approach this because I'm not only paying attention and I'm receiving all of the wisdom from the past, but I am gauging this present moment, and I am here, I am centered, I am not sleeping through what is actually happening. I am awake. I am present through it. And I am also, as the hermit does, cultivating a silent, still space that gives you space and gives you freedom, but I am also protecting it through a practice of daily positioning yourself into places, into situations that feel good for you, or that give you silence when you need silence, give you space when you need space, give you stillness when you've been rushing around like a chicken with your head cut off. The intention behind giving us the Hierophant and the Hermit together is to help us remember that all the things that we've learned about ourselves have been tainted by other people, have been in the context of other people telling us the lessons that we should learn, that we should receive from the wisdom and the stories that they share. What we get to do as the Hierophant and the Hermit is to come back to these stories, look at them again, and ask, how do they relate to now? And also, what is my intuition? What is my gut telling me about the truth of these stories and the honesty of the storyteller? Because what you already know, this is the Two of Crystals. Crystals is about mental energy. Two is about what is within you and what is becoming solid within you. What you already know is that there have been some dishonest narrators, some unreliable narrators who, in hindsight, you might look back on the stories that they told and recognize that, if I dislodge my respect of this person, if I detach myself from all of the associations that I have with them, and I just focus on how I feel when I retell the story as it was told to me, what I might find is that something feels off, something feels sketchy. That is a really great way to come back to your inner knowing, is to re-solidify within you, break apart everything that you've been told, everything that you think that you know, and reassemble it with just the parts that you trust. Because when you do that, you can start to anchor into the present with, I've learned through the practice of looking at memories, through the practice of re-listening to past stories of, like, it could be things that people told you about how you were as a kid, or it could be things that they told you about what happened to them growing up, or actual history, things that you've read in books that people have told you is the truth, that now you're starting to see might be somebody's truth, but is it reality? Is it the whole truth? Does it make actual sense that the way that things are explained and described is actually how the people in the story would have experienced those things? Taking that wisdom from the past and practicing coming back to your stories, clearing off everything that everybody else has told you, and just refining your own discernment of what feels true and what doesn't, can help you in the present to be more aware of the falsehoods and the lies and the manipulations and the things that are confusing because they are told in a way that is intended to confuse you and to make you feel like you cannot trust your inner wisdom. Honing in on that practice, giving yourself silence, stillness, spaciousness to go back through those things of like, this has always bothered me, maybe I need to look at this again. Or you're scrolling through Instagram and you're like, this is something that I've been believing in, but I want to check. I want to check to make sure that what I'm believing in actually makes sense and not just logically with evidence makes sense, but feels in my gut like the honest truth. Developing that practice is going to help you clarify and clean your mind of all of the need for other people, and as weird as it sounds, the need for other people to judge you so that you don't have to listen to your intuition. Because that's the easiest way out, right? Is to have other people be the blame and be the reason why we don't do the things that we know that we should do, believe in the things that we feel are right to believe in. Blaming other people and putting it off on them is really easy. Is the easiest thing we can do. So coming back to yourself, coming back to discerning without judging what feels right for you is the next best move to make. And I want to take this a step further with a Soul Truth Self-Awareness card that's asking us, how can I deepen my trust right now? How can I deepen my trust in myself? How can I deepen my trust in spirit and in everything that is outside of me that is also within me, that is trying to tell me what the truth is? I cannot discern the truth if I do not have trust. So how do I deepen my trust? I'm going to read the back of the card for you. Trust, surrender, let go of the wheel. You can trust. You can trust yourself. Trust fully in yourself so that you can deepen your trust in others. Trust creates safety. And when we feel safe, we feel unstoppable. Today's soul action: let go and trust. Today, find your center in the chaos. Hello, divine chaos. I see you winking at me everywhere. Today, find your center in the chaos and be certain with yourself so you can deepen your trust in others. I feel like this is pretty standard advice and didn't necessarily give us a whole lot. Maybe you got something from it, and I love that you got something from it if you did. For me, I think that was lacking a little bit of something. So I want to make sure that you get from every single one of my videos the practices that you need to not just fix things and not to just feel things, think that you're feeling things, which is again up here, but to actually get into your body and really fully experience things. So I want to make sure that you know about the Divine Chaos course, something that I do every year. And this year we have 5 speakers, including myself. We're going to be hosting a course over the course of 7 weeks. And for 7 months after, you're going to get accountability emails so that everything that you learn about finding your center in the middle of chaos, in the center of transition, creating a container of silence, stillness, and spaciousness so that your divine instincts, your intuition can flow. Recognizing your family patterns and the foundation that you have that has made you not trust your intuition and has been the source of the blocking of your intuition, as well as several other things, which you can check out through the link in the caption for this video. You're going to get these workshops, resources from these expert speakers, and you're going to get a whole bunch of follow-up accountability, so that it's not just, the practice of showing up for a couple of weeks. It's knowing that you have anchors and guideposts over the course of several months, so that you can make real change in your life, and that unblocking your intuition, that desire to unleash your potential and all of the possibility of who you could become if you really trusted yourself and surrendered to the amazing design that is you. If that is something that you want, it is not just a weekend retreat. It is not just a 5-week course. It is time and energy and consistency and devotion. I love the word devotion. It is devotion. That is the thing that we have crafted this course for, is for people who are devoted to their intuition, to surrendering to their potential, and finding little pockets of themselves that were missing before now, that you can then pick up and find respect and love again, so you can release some of the old ways that are not serving you and that are just perpetually blocking who you are becoming, and that intuitive sense of self, of what you need at any particular moment in the present. We've got the Divine Chaos course that's coming up on 8/8, the Lionsgate, first week in August until the second week in September. It's going to be 8/8 until 9/22. So go ahead and check the link in my bio. The link in my bio. Here I am on Instagram in my mind. The link in the caption here. And if that is something that doesn't quite appeal to you, or that sounds like a lot right now, I encourage you to check out the Vibrant Coven. I hold community space in an event called Unblock Your Intuition once a month. And every third Thursday of the month, I hold this event with a different topic and a different kind of aspect of intuition and life that we need intuition for, so that we can focus on all of the little, like I said, pockets of disruption, pockets of being blocked that need our attention and need that guidance. It is a very affordable way to come back to it every month. And like I said, I am not about the drop in the bucket, here you go, here's, an ebook and you have to do this all by yourself. I am not about that. I am not about a quick little webinar on something that is ultimately only going to give you a fraction of what you actually need. I am about cultivating a culture of compassion that is accountable to itself. And if you want to be accountable to yourself and your trust, your devotion to the intuitive spark that is within you, then I highly recommend clicking the Patreon link, the Vibrant Coven link, so that you can go and be a part of that monthly event and find out more about all of the ways that you are being held back, that you have been held back, and now maybe are continuing the practice of holding yourself back. There's no shame in it. We all do it. It's just recognizing that you have the power to undo it and then taking action toward it. making that a understanding that is a worthwhile investment. That is the part that you might need right now. So I hope that these two things help you, that they harmonize with you, that they inspire you and motivate you to return to a place of harnessing your intuition with just big, great respect and love, because you deserve it. You deserve to trust yourself. It's not impossible to come back to that trust, to come back to that innate trust that you were born with. It's not impossible. Just take some time. And you deserve to give that to yourself, to give yourself that gentleness and that grace of growing at your own pace. Ooh, I like that. I just came up with it, I swear. I like that. Grace of growing at your own pace. I'm gonna have to watch this again so I can come back to it, but I think everybody deserves that. And that includes you. I hope that you got some real value from this episode, that you subscribe to this channel if you did get value, and that you go and check out either the Divine Chaos course and or the Vibrant Coven, whichever speaks to you first, whichever speaks to you right now. Try and take that little leap of faith and just practice trusting yourself right now. Whichever one, feels good for you, go there. Give that to yourself. I love you so much. Mwah. Thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day.